can tell I've played a lot of Minecraft.
Oh yeah, dude, you're quite the expert, sir.
I will show you how to do this obstacle course. Come with me.
Yes, educate me, please.
My name is Hutch, and I make videos and put them on the internet. And as you can hear from the voice, many of you guys probably already know Captain Sparkles. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, sir?
I'm good. It's really hot in Santa Cruz. I just started doing, again, like a series of videos where I kind of have conversations with people that have been YouTubing for a little while. Maybe they just started. Not sure. And I wanted to get a chance to talk to you because your story is pretty interesting to me. And I guess I will just lead off right now by asking you how you got into gaming.
So I was given my first, if you can call it Game Boy a console, I was given my first console at about age 5. By the way, you're going to want to sprint here. It'll make it easier. So you double tap W and then you jump. So I was given Game Boy Color at 5 years old. And I think the first game I ever played on that was Mega Man. And it wasn't one of the earlier Mega Mans. It was whatever come out for Game Boy Color. And from there, I played the Game Boy a bunch. And then I think it was around second grade when I asked my mom if she would be willing to get me a console. And it took a lot of me being 7 years old and my rhetoric skills trying to convince my mom that she should get me a console.
Well, how old are you now? I guess that would be a relevant question.
I'm 21.
You're only 21? Get the really?
Yeah.
I thought you were older than that for some reason.
I don't know. I guess I try to carry myself in a way that makes me seem like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, so how old were you when you first got into YouTubing then?
I was, I guess I was 8. I just turned 18.
Okay. And when you first got into YouTube, did you have an original, how did you get into it, first of all? And then how did your approach to YouTubing kind of evolve?
So I started off, do you want me to give the reasoning why I started or just sort of what I did at the beginning?
How about both? Because I'm interested in both.
So the reason I started was because I'd actually, at the time I was playing lots of Call of Duty, and I think originally I was looking up zombie strategies because World at War, I should say, was the current Call of Duty. That was 2009 to 2010, I think. And
2009 was it was Modern Warfare 2, so I think 2008.
It was Modern Warfare 2, but I still played the zombies mode on World at War, and I sort of looked up tutorials on that, and that's how I was sort of introduced to the fact that people actually recorded gameplay and then they'd narrate over it, sort of giving tips as to how to best go about doing things. And so that's where I was first introduced. But then I slowly sort of started noticing people who were just recording their gameplay. And this was for Modern Warfare 2. And they were, I don't know, just posting it and talking over it. Oftentimes, I think I actually watched a few of your videos, to be completely honest. And so it was...
I've watched a few of yours, so we're even.
But this is before I had even made my account. So
we were okay, but I mean we were calling out your videos on Respawn back in the day. So but that was when your name was different.
My initial account that I was posting videos on was an account with the name of Pros Don't Talk Shit.
I liked that name, by the way. It's not.
No, it's nothing wrong with it. I think it's just the fact that if you have kids watching your videos, and mom's like, "Oh, what are you watching?" It's probably not good for them to be like, "I'm watching Pros Don't Talk Shit," and they'll be like, "What did you say?"
Yeah. Do you make efforts not to swear now these days?
I do my best. It slips here and there, and if other people are in my video and they swear, it's not like I'm gonna make a big deal out of it. Yeah. But I mean, when I was at Minecon in November. I did a panel and a mom came up and it was during question time and she said, "I just want to thank you for not swearing in your videos." And I wanted to say, well, I graciously accepted the compliment, but I wanted to sort of say, well, I guess you haven't seen all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's happened a couple times in Santa Cruz where a small child, I'm talking 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, will walk up and oh man, this one looks complicated. Jesus. Will walk up and say hi and say that they recognize me from the internet, and they'll be there with their parents.
Right.
And I can't help but look over at the parents and like I've asked many times, do you know that they're watching? Like, I curse a lot, you know, and oh man, how do you do this, Jordan? This is
so you just the hard one is going across here. You kind of just have to jump at the same time you go forward. It's a little bit difficult, not gonna lie.
Oh, I almost had it on that one. And I had one parent tell me, as long as they're not cursing, then we don't mind. And that made me feel a little bit better, but at the same time, I do swear very, very frequently.
I mean, that's a good rule, I guess, because as far as cursing goes, it's just words, and obviously you don't want to use them in public too frequently, especially when you're a younger kid. It just seems a little bit brash. But as long as they know the distinction between hearing it and then knowing not to use it, I guess it shouldn't be an issue.
It's tough because the world's changing too. Kids now have access to. I mean, YouTube is not exactly the most kid-friendly place, and it's just commonly accepted now that most children are on YouTube either with some kind of tablet or their phone, or it seems like every generation the norms in which in kind of the environment that kids are being raised in changes. And so on the one hand, I feel bad sometimes because I don't want to be saying things that a kid doesn't have context for, and then they look to me and they might take something I say seriously when it's a joke. But at the same time, I can't help but think that it's sort of on the parents to monitor that kind of thing and make sure that they know what their kids are watching.
So I started off with that name. I made the account before I was planning on making any videos, so I didn't really see any issue with it at that point. And then I wasn't really I wasn't thinking consciously that making videos would amount to anything significant when I first started. So I stuck with it, and then it was a summer, the first summer of doing it, summer 2010, where I was sort of thinking about changing it, because at that time my channel was partnered, or no, not. I was on Machinima, I wasn't yet partnered, but I just thought, you know, if this has any chance of amounting to anything meaningful, it might be a good time to just, while I'm ahead, make a little switch. And so I was bouncing the idea off of Adam Nanners, and he was like, I dare you to change your name to Captain Sparkles.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. At the time, while I obviously was making the change because just in case anything happened that was, I don't know, I didn't want people to be announcing me as Pros Don't Talk Shit. I still didn't think it was really going to amount to anything, so I went with it. I was like, yeah, whatever. And lo and behold, now lots more people follow what I do, and I am still Captain Sparkles. So,
well, if you don't mind, Captain Sparkles is a fantastic name, by the way. Because we were calling you out as Pros Don't Talk Shit for a while, and then I didn't hear the backstory about how Adam had suggested it until sometime later. But it's like, well, from Pros Don't Talk Shit to Captain Sparkles is probably about the most polar opposite names you could go. It ended up working out for you. So
yeah.
So originally you started making videos without any real kind of foresight into it being anything bigger than what it was on paper, which is just kind of a hobby.
And
so
I like to think that's how most people also started. So
sure. A lot of the old school folks, sure. But I wonder what the appeal was for you. That's a question that I really like asking people, especially people that have been doing this for a little while, is what about making videos, any kind of videos, whether it be gaming or otherwise, had appeal to you at the time? And I wonder if that's changed over time, if the appeal has changed.
I guess, in being completely honest, it was somewhat of a like show-offy thing, in that I thought I was actually pretty good at Call of Duty, and I got good scores quite a bit. So I was like, hey, why don't I actually record this? And then my ability to narrate was a bit lackluster at the start, but that's something that can certainly be worked on. And I think that I've definitely improved on it as time has gone by. As with, I think anyone, if you go back and watch their first videos, everyone just seems super awkward.
I can't watch older videos of me. Like these days, I can't even watch a video that's a couple months old. But if I go back to a year or 2 years, it makes me cringe when I watch it.
And you're like, I wonder to myself, like, why did anyone watch this stuff? Like, what did they see in me at this point that was interesting remotely? But
you must have had something going for you at the time.